Guess what, Scott? You're under arrest.
Since when are you a state trooper?
Since I found this hat at my local thrift shop.
Just because you found a hat does not mean you're a state trooper, Scooter.
You will not talk to me like that. I am now a gray god, and you will respect my authority. You are under arrest.
Oh yeah? For what?
For making stupid videos.
Well, you do have a point. But you gotta catch me first.
Hey, you get back here, you big stupid. Come here. Ha-ha, Scooter, stop resisting. Stop resisting. Quit it. Hey, don't twist. No.
Got your hat?
Ow, state trooper. More like a state pooper.
Hey, come back.
They didn't give me any keys for these. Scott, it's not funny anymore.
What's up, everybody? My name is Scott, and you're watching Kentucky Ballistics. And today I have a very special video for you. We are going to check out all of the sidearms that the Kentucky State Police has been issued throughout the years. This has taken a while to get together, and I'm very excited to show it to you. So let's go get set up and get started.
Dang it!
So some of you may not know this, but I used to be a Kentucky State Trooper. I started my law enforcement career around 2012. I was a local officer, and then I went on to be a Kentucky State Trooper. And then in 2019, I got out of law enforcement altogether to pursue other passions. But I'll always be a state trooper at heart, and I will still always be fascinated with the history of the Kentucky State Police. And today, that is what we are going to be talking about, the sidearms of the Kentucky State Police. And over the years, they have had a lot of different sidearms. And the first one that I have for you today is a Smith & Wesson 686. So first of all, I do not believe that these were this shiny when they were issued. This one has definitely been polished up or something, but this is an authentic Kentucky State Police Smith & Wesson 686 chambered in .357 Magnum, and you can see there it has the Kentucky State Police logo on the side. This thing has a 4-inch barrel and holds 6 rounds and is absolutely beautiful. So beautiful that I probably will not shoot this gun today. It's going to have a stunt double. I really don't want to get this thing dirty. From what I understand, this was the issued firearm for the Kentucky State Police up until about 1990, and then they switched to a semi-automatic. So what I am most interested in today is to see what the ballistics would look like out of these firearms with the ammunition that they were issued at the time. Now, personally, I would probably be carrying some Underwood ammo, but for the historic value of this video, we are going to be using the ammunition that they would have been issued at the time, and we're going to take a shot at some 10% clear ballistic gel blocks made by Clear Ballistics. So if my sources are correct, the ammunition that was issued with the model 686 were Remington .357 Magnum 125 grain jacketed hollow points.
All right, here we go.
Well, for one, it is very hot today, and this gel is melting to this table. Let's take a look at our results. We stopped in the first block. Oh, look at this here. Oh, man. We actually had quite a bit of expansion, and that is a pretty good wound channel, and we continued on almost through the entire 16-inch block. There we go. That is not too bad. There is not much left of that round, and that is because we delivered a lot of energy, and it looks like a lot of that round broke up in the first bit of that block. You know what? I love my 511 backpack, but you know what I don't love about it? It doesn't have an American flag patch. But that's okay, because right now you can celebrate the Stars and Stripes and get a free USA flag patch when you purchase any 511 bag. This is online or in store, and it's good until July 15th. Get them while supplies last. Use my link in the description down below. Buy any bag and get a US flag. Again, a big thank you to 511 for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to it. So the Kentucky State Police carried the 686 up until about 1990, and then they switched to a semi-automatic handgun. And the one they picked was a Smith & Wesson 1076. And this thing is pretty ridiculous because it's chambered in 10 millimeter. This particular firearm does not have the KSP markings. I have had a very hard time finding an official Kentucky State Police 1076. Apparently, they're an absolute unicorn. But this is what they would have been carrying. It just does not have the markings. This has a 4.25-inch barrel and holds 9 rounds of 10 millimeter. So my firearm does not have the KSP logo on it, but the ammunition I have today does. This is an original box of 10 millimeter that KSP was issued when they were carrying the 1076. This is master cartridge, and you can see on the side here, you have the KSP logo, and this is 10 millimeter auto. So these are 180 grain gold dot hollow points, and on the back here, you can see that it says KSP 10 millimeter auto. I know most people would probably never shoot this because this is 50 rounds of original ammunition, but I am very excited to see how these perform. All right, here we go. Ooh. Okay. Check that out. Looks like we made it through the entire first block, and then we stopped in the second block. Looks like we made it into that block just about an inch, and then the round got sucked back out of there. And it expanded really well. Check that out. We definitely had some good energy transfer, but we also had a lot of penetration. So from the looks of this test, I would say that the model 1076 would have been a good swap because you had more rounds and better performance. So KSP carried the model 1076 from 1990 to about the early 2000s. And around that time, they went from Smith & Wesson to Glock. They swapped to a Glock 35 chambered in 40 Smith & Wesson. So this Gen 4 Glock 35 is very special to me because this was my actual duty weapon when I was KSP. I was issued this in the academy, and I carried this one the majority of my career. This has a 5.3-inch barrel. As you can see there on the front, we have the KSP logo. On the top, you have the slide cutout, and this thing holds 15 rounds of 40 Smith & Wesson. So when I was lugging this thing around, I was issued 40 Smith & Wesson Spear Gold Dot 180 grain jacketed hollow points. And a little fun fact for you, I was top of my class in firearms training. I shot 100%, but there is one cadet out there who would try to tell you otherwise, but I know that I am the reason that you can't sleep at night, Brad. Okay, settling the debate once and for all, 40 Smith & Wesson versus 10 mil. Oh, would you look at that? The 10 millimeter went a little bit further than the 40 Smith & Wesson, but we still had really good performance. So we have 10 mil right here, and then this is the 40 Smith & Wesson. They are very, very similar. Oh, that's actually looking pretty good. Yeah, that expanded real nicely. So the Glock 35 was carried from the early 2000s, and then around 2018, KSP swapped from that to 9mm. Now the current issue from 2018 to present is a Gen 5 Glock 17 chambered in 9mm. If my sources are correct, the ammunition that is issued with this firearm is Spear Gold Dot G2s. These are 9mm, 147 grain. Let's see how they perform compared to our other ammunition. Wow, okay, looks like the 9mm penetrated further than all of our other rounds, went further than the 357, the 40 Smith & Wesson, and the 10 mil. You can see right here, I actually got an even better view through here. You have a pretty clear view there of all of the wound channels, and you can see that the 9 mil has went the furthest. There it is right there. Oh wow, that's actually beautiful. Check that out. That is a mean looking little round. So I would argue that the 357 Magnum and the 10mm are probably going to be delivering a more energy, but it looks like the 9mm wins when it comes to penetration. So that was all the KSP sidearms that were issued and are currently issued. And when it comes to duty weapons, most agencies are packing Glocks, Smith & Wessons, SIGs, and things like that. But some agencies have been trying out something that's a little more slick. This is a Staccato 2011P. From what I understand, around 1,600 agencies have swapped to these, and I can see why. This thing is smooth as butter and basically has every bell and whistle you can think of. You have a complete metal frame and slide. You have a flared mag well, a bull barrel, it's optics ready. There are so many things to talk about on this gun that I just don't have time to. And honestly, I don't want to because I've never shot one of these before, and I just want to get right to that. Today I also have this to try out, a Staccato 2011 XC, and as you can see it has a pretty sweet comp on the top. Let's see how this one does. So today I have tested out 357 Magnum, 9mm, 40 Smith & Wesson, and 10mm. And I have to say, I really like 10mm. And if I had to pick a 9mm, I would want something that is extra large. So next I'm gonna try out this Staccato 2011 XL. This thing also has all the bells and whistles, but it's just a little bit bulkier. The only problem with this gun is it doesn't have unlimited ammo. So all jokes aside, if I was gonna start the Kentucky Ballistics law enforcement agency and I had to pick a firearm for my sidearm, you know, I'd probably have to go with the 500 Magnum. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I definitely had a lot of fun making it. What was your favorite duty weapon? Let me know in the comment section down below. Also be sure and check me out on all other social media platforms. Links to those can be found in the description down below, along with a link to KentuckyBallistics.com, just in case you want to pick up a shirt. And as always, my name is Scott. Thank you so much for watching Kentucky Ballistics, and I'll see you next time.